Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lewis of That Convention Guy Collectibles, and today I have something a little different. I decided to attend a sneaker convention. Yes, you heard me, sneakers. Jordans and Nikes and, different things like that. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of the video, some photos, and then I'll kind of sum it up at the end, okay? So check it out. What's up, guys? Here at the sneaker exit. This is a sneaker convention, and I don't know, something new for me. I've never been to sneaker conventions, but lately I've been purchasing some Jordans and things like that. So thought I'd check it out. Yeah, let's go check it out. All right, guys. So there you see, it was a decent event. I was a little disappointed. Here's why. Number one, the tickets to get in were way too expensive for what they offered. Um, I went to, what was it called? I don't even remember at this point. It was some type of mashup, Culture Con or something like that. I don't even know. And it was a sneaker convention as well, but they also had like 60 to 70% of it was like sports cards and collectibles, things like that. In that show, there was probably, I don't know, 100, 125 vendors, something like I don't even remember. But it was a full area, up and down, rows and rows and rows of vendors, different things. So you had sports cards, you had some Funkos, um, several sneakers, Nikes and Jordans and things like that. You had framed photos, clothing. It was a little bit of everything, and that's why it was kind of like this weird mashup of stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. So this one was just a sneaker convention. I was like, all right, that's awesome. Check it out. I've never been to one of these like just sneakers, so check it out. It was really disappointing in the number of vendors. I didn't count them, but if I had to guess, I'd say maybe 30, 35 vendors. It was disappointing. The other thing that I had an issue with, like I said, is that the ticket prices. The ticket prices were really expensive. Like it was more expensive to go to this show than it was the other show. Um, so the ticket prices were way too expensive for what they were offering. And then my final thing, and this is kind of the thing that stuck with me and will probably make me not go to many of these, is I believe in transparency. I believe in having your items marked with pricing. And this convention, if there were 30 vendors, I'd say probably 25 of them did not have pricing on their stuff. Um, and I feel that way even when I go to sports card conventions, that like many of the items are not priced. So you either A, have to know the pricing, or B, trust the person that you're buying from that they're going to be fair with you, that kind of thing. And yes, you can always look up prices on the spot, to kind of get an idea. But I just don't understand not being transparent. I understand that it takes work. Like the vendors would have had to go on, before the convention and do their research and get pricing and then write it down, or mark them. But they didn't do that. So the reason I don't like that is that, like, I like transparency. I don't like to feel like I walk up to a guy and look at a pair of shoes and they want $200, and somebody else behind me walks up after I leave and it's 150. Like, there's no way to know if, they're looking at you, judging you, and thinking what you can afford to pay versus what it's worth or what it should be. So I'm not I'm not a big fan of that aspect. The other thing is, I understand that people buy shoes for collectibles, and I understand that people buy shoes to then resell. But for me, I'm going to buy shoes for wearing. And therefore, I don't care if the shoe's an 8.5. I need my size. I need a size 11. And again, same thing. Like at least 90% of the booths don't have any kind of marking as to what size the shoe is. So you literally have to walk up and at this point I was basically just looking for shoes that I liked, and then once I did, I'd have to go over there, pick up the shoe, start looking inside to find a size. Um, Now most of the vendors, I will say, know what size they have in that particular shoe if they have a few of them, and even if they don't, they usually know what they have on display on the table. So I will give them credit for that. But I don't want to have to guess, like, oh man, I really like this shoe. And then I pick it up and it's a size 10. You know, there was one that I really liked and it was a size 13. I'm like, come on, man, just mark it. And I tell you what, the tables that had them marked were so like, it was clean, it was organized. Like there was no like, it didn't change it in a negative way. So for me, I actually spent more time at the tables that were marked. And not only did they mark the size, but a lot of times those same vendors also marked the prices right there. So you knew, okay, this shoe is $200, this shoe is $400, that kind of thing. So you didn't have to waste time. So that was probably my most disappointing thing. I did go. I had to pay for parking, which was another thing. Like really, paid for parking, paid an expensive ticket, and I didn't buy a single thing. Now, to me, I consider that a win because I didn't spend more money. But at the same time, it was a loss because I spent money on the ticket and parking and time. But at least now I know. I probably will attend some more in the future and probably just focus on the booths that are labeled, that they have the sizes, they have the pricing. I get that these things fluctuate, but they're not going to fluctuate from Saturday to Sunday that much where, you might lose a couple bucks as a vendor. You might gain a couple bucks as a vendor. Like it's nothing's going to be like double the price that it was yesterday overnight. So, yeah, I just didn't enjoy that aspect of it. I didn't enjoy the aspect of guessing at the right size, and I also didn't enjoy guessing at the pricing. I did see one booth that was selling sneaker cleaner, which I actually wanted to purchase one. So I thought, okay, I'm going to a sneaker convention. I'll find a good cleaning kit or whatever. And I did. It was decent. I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask to sample it because my shoes were pretty white to begin with. He was like, oh, you see these stains? See these stains? And I'm like, I don't see anything. But he cleaned them. He cleaned one shoe, and then I compared the two to see, and I was like, they look exactly the same as they did before. So, and then when I asked him how much it was like $70 or something. He did the typical like, oh, well, if you buy this individually, it comes out to $120, but I'm going to do it today for 70. I was like, give me a break. Come on. Go sell cars or something. Like that's the approach you're taking. But anyway, I'm getting too picky, I guess. But all in all, what can I say? Probably wasn't a great first show to go to. I'm gonna go ahead and count the other one. Culture Collision, I think is what it was called. Culture? I don't know. Yeah, I there's other sneaker conventions out there, and I'd love to attend one of those where it's like full on hundreds of vendors just selling sneakers. Just because I think that's interesting. I'm not one of those guys that has sneakers as a collectible, although I do have one Shaq shoe that's autographed, but it's more the autograph and the size of the shoe. It's a size 22 from Reebok, the original pumps, but I don't like collect Jordans, for monetary reasons, things like that. In fact, all the Jordans that I have, I wear. And I know a lot of people are like, no, you can't do that. You got to leave them alone. I don't want to do that. I only buy the ones that I like the look of. I don't buy just every single time a new pair comes out or a new colorway comes out. I just don't do that. I like the ones that I like, and I wear them. So, yeah, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Do you like the idea of upfront pricing? Same thing for all my sports memorabilia people, or even Funko collectors and things like that. When you go to a convention and you see their Funko Pops and they don't have pricing on them, like, I don't know. To me, that's a little sketchy. Um, somebody walks up dressed nice and you charge them double. Like, you have no idea. And I guess it's on me to research and know what it's worth, but many things are subjective. Even a BGS 9, like, depending on the subgrades, can fluctuate the value, and it might be worth more to one person than somebody else. I don't know, but to me, like, I guess if I'm going to a sports card show and I'm looking for a specific thing, if I'm looking for a 33 Gaudi Babe Ruth, PSA 1 or PSA 2, it's like I kind of have an idea of what they go for going into the convention. So, if it's worth 10,000 and somebody's like, hey, I want 18 grand, it's like, well, see you later. But I just don't like the idea that it's not marked, because I walk up and they tell me 18 grand. Somebody else walks up and they tell them 15 grand. Somebody else walks up and it's 21 grand. It's like, I just don't like that idea that there's no, like, transparency in your pricing and what you're doing. So anyway, that's just me. What do you guys think? Am I overthinking it, overlooking it? Probably. But yeah, went to the shoe show and didn't buy anything. A little disappointed. Which actually, like I said, worked out okay, because I ended up buying like 3 pair on Facebook Marketplace from other people. So who knows? But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Something a little different. Hey, I'm that convention guy, right? So it's not always just going to be sports, and it's not always going to be Mark McGuire and Shaquille O'Neal, that kind of thing. Today was something different. Who knows? Maybe I end up going to one of those Barbie conventions, or My Little Pony. I've been to Joe Lanta, which is a toy show, which is like a G.I. Joe convention. So, hey, I'm all about it. So, you have a convention you want me to go check out and show you some videos, show you some pictures? Let me know. I'm up for it. So, I don't know. All right, guys. Appreciate you watching another video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.